here. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna join the Pirates Game Jam. So Pirate Jam, here we go. I have a, it's gonna look a little different right now. I'm gonna struggle a little bit because I had to change the monitor setting for a little bit because I had to get my graphic tablet working. I'm not sure what this is. Something's happening here. One of these are live. I think this is. I should probably delete that one. Delete forever. Weird. Okay. Well, either way, here we are. Probably gonna do Pirates Game Jam briefly. We're not gonna try to get distracted too much. I think there's enough distraction already. So, gonna do a little announcement here. Live now. I am doing Pirates Jam. Twitch will be the link here. And then, of course, YouTube link. You know, at this point, I'm like, should I even? I guess it's like YouTube live links are practically for people to go to Twitch, essentially. It's later than usual time for me, especially on Saturday. It's probably not going to do well. But that's besides the point. We're trying to enjoy ourselves here. Whoa. Screen over there looks kind of intense. Probably should get rid of this like HDR thing, huh? Let's see. Oh, there you go. Yeah, now the colors looked really crazy with that HDR setting. Well, now that that's sorted, I think. Yeah, there you go. All right, here we are. Wait, why does it say I'm offline on Twitch? Hi, McCory. I mean, clearly I'm not because you're here. Weird. Okay. Well, here we are, everyone. We are doing pirates. Theme is interesting. You are the weapon. This theme can be expressed in a number of different ways. Maybe you are a cursed and become. Anyways, so we're gonna do something like that. One thing about Pirates Gem is that it requires you to submit game design. You have to submit game design document, which may be a good thing for me. It allows me to organize my thought better before actually committing to an idea. So there's that. So I guess I'll try to write one a little bit late, but it's not so late that it's unmanageable. Um, so let's try a few things out and see how that goes. I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna turn on music right here. Whoa, that's loud. Lower volume, please. Just a second. I'm gonna try to lower it. I thought I had this over here. Yeah. I don't think you guys see. Do you hear it? I wonder if I have to reset everything. I don't see it coming through. Oh, because I muted it. There it is. Beautiful. Hold on. There? Yeah. Just barely. I think that'll be okay. Weird. Not this. Yeah. Okay. Maybe this is better. All right, here we are. back in the rhythm of things. We're doing what we're doing. Some game design docs. We're not gonna think too much. Something simple, maybe? Something simple. Yeah! Pirates Jam 16. I mean, it's one of the bigger jams, so I have to. Like, I can't help it. I am delaying my video by doing this, I think. But I thought it would be interesting if I try to actually win one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, categories are pretty clear. Let's try to get it looking pretty interesting and different. I don't know. You're the weapon. That's pretty simple. A test run. I wonder if we can make a dice-based game where you roll the dice. You are the weapon. I like the idea of your life becoming the weapon. Like, you know, from our mushroom, the Too Many Cooks idea that we're working on. You know how, like we said, hey, your ammo is your life, and then that's everything. So if you run out of ammo, you die. Remember that one? I think that's probably a good idea. I kind of think that's very interesting. But how does that work out with the theme, right? So if that's the case, if your life is your action, I think there might be an interesting turn-based game where you have to use your life as the source of action. So either a turn-based game where action is your life. Though I don't know how well. I mean, that has to be a puzzle, right? I don't want to do puzzle, do I? We'll see. Might as well. You know what? I'm gonna do a card game. Because that's gonna line up well with my tutorial series, so I get to at least test run once. Right? So let's do that. Card game. It's gonna be Pirates 16 weapon. And then it'll be under other Godot project, I think. Hopefully not on OneDrive. I don't know why it automatically says it to OneDrive. Godot. Not Godot engine. There's, I think, Godot project somewhere. There you go. And we're going to create Pirate 16. Yeah, card game. We're going to do this. It's going to be deck builder. Yeah, deck builder. And I think main course of the idea, deck builder puzzle, maybe? Deck builder puzzle. Yeah. I like that idea where you're going through that. Player experience. Not 100% sure. I mean, at least this game design doc allows me to really think through this theme thoroughly. So at least we got that going. Pretty happy about that. Another jam? Okay, here you go. Deck builder and puzzle. I like that. Target audience. whoops, is going to be, I don't know what platform means. I'm gonna have to. Hey, you knocked my chocolate down. Stop it, cat. Let me look at the original game design document. Sample. What was the player experience? The player will solve short but perhaps complex puzzle. I think it's a loose puzzle, not like puzzle like there's like a set thing, but just kind of like, well, here's an environment, get over it type of thing. Okay, platform. The game is developed to be released on Windows PC. Windows PC for now. Development software, we're gonna say is Godot 4.3. I suppose we could have a bunch of them. Sprite for pixel art. I guess for music, we're gonna probably do Fruity Loops for music and SFX. Player experience. The ideal player experience, I think. How about tactics? Deck builder tactics. Less puzzle, but more strategy based. And target audience for me, I think. I don't know how loud this song is now. It's pretty loud to you guys too, right? Okay. I might have to just link this. All right. Target audience is something like people who enjoy people who enjoys strategic and repetitive challenges. Where you get to think slowly to overcome hold on. People who enjoy strategic and repetitive challenges, especially no. Enjoy strategic and repetitive challenges. Looking for deck builder experience. Like Slay the Spire. People who enjoy strategic repetitive challenges. Who likes to or who enjoys strategic challenges. They enjoy or they find satisfaction from putting together a combo in a game that feels strong and having to think carefully before making a move. I think that's a very specific audience, I think. That's a pretty clear audience profile, right? What else? Why is this tabbed like this? I feel like the tabbing is kind of weird. There you go. Okay. Next. Player experience is something like, let's see. Line this up right here. What's the example of player experience? In a single screen dungeon for each of the 15 levels, the player will solve a short but perhaps complex puzzle requiring planning and management. Learn and use their knowledge. Okay. That's pretty generic experience, I think. I think the player experience is that player, let's see. Player in a top-down or isometric, I think. In a single screen game top-down. I think isometric is probably better. Isometric game board. I guess I don't need to capitalize anything. Like board. The player can see. Player gets to navigate and strategize to overcome a level via using their deck of cards, which controls the behavior of player's character. Player must learn the behavior of the current not behavior, but more like, yeah, behavior of the current enemies in a rogue-like fashion while trying to strategize or trying to optimize their characters, movesets, deck between levels. I think that's an interesting idea. So we got the deck builder tactics. Basically entered the dungeon style tactics for its perfect information tactics style, and then Slay the Spire for its easy to comprehend and for its easy to play rogue like deck builder gameplay. I think these are the two things. Not enter the dungeon. It's not enter the dungeon. It's the into the breach. Then I'll have a screen for into the breach. So the basic concept will be the into the breach plus copy image. Essentially, it's into the breach plus Slay the Spire. Pretty easy to understand, I think. No confusion there, I think. Slay the Spire. So, let's see, copy image. There you go. Then I'll make it smaller to fit the size of the image here. Low key, I think this could be pretty fun. I don't think it's like a terrible idea. What's the difference between all of this and summary pitch? It needs to like grab attention, I'm guessing. You know, I never actually had to write a full GDD before, so this is kind of interesting for me. Wow, I need to really explain. Into the Breach allows players to have a full knowledge of enemies' his next movement and turn, for players to strategize around. In addition, the various target goal for each level gives a unique challenge and variation for that keeps the game exciting between level to level, I think. Then we can say slay the spire fulfills the satisfaction of gaining cards going up to the cards within a single run by defeating various enemies and going going through events and shops. Slay the Spire fulfills the satisfaction of gaining cards within a single run by defeating the shops. This game is a good inspiration for how to make deck building and deck optimizing satisfying and fun, I think. Right? Hey, Skullblitz. What does GDD stand for? Game Design Doc. Oh, thanks, Tincho, for explaining that. And sorry if I'm a little delayed. Let's see. Okay. And this is my first time writing it anyways. I'm just literally following this, like, sample that's provided by the Pirates Gem, which I'm joining. I guess I should pin a comment in Twitch here. How do I do that? Users in chat. My chat. I wish I knew how to pin comments. How does my mod know how to do that, but I don't? I have to figure this out. Oh, can I do that in YouTube too? Here, let me see. How to pin chat in YouTube live stream. Create a live start. You will find the live chat. Can I even do that? Pin message on YouTube stream. No, I don't want to watch a video for it. GDD Tincho says, or grandma does drugs. I guess that's what it could stand for, if you really need. What's a goal? Make Super Chat more fun with goals. Oh. Huh. Interesting. Well, I don't know how to mess with that. I'm not going to do that right now. Let me see. Designing for pirate. You know what? I'm not going to do this. This is too much work. I'll do this later. Anyways, okay. Next up. Game summary pitch. Let's see what this other person did. Mass Flux is a tile-based puzzle game about reducing or general. It's a one-sentence summary. Okay, that's like grabbing attention. I like that. All right, I think for my audience, if I think about my target audience, really honestly, just invoking the Into the Breach and Slay the Spire is probably a good thing. So game summary, it'll be like, I mean, I don't even have the title yet. Working title. Let's see. It should be called, well, you're the weapon. You're using health. Health is mana. I think I'm going to say mana and health is a shared pool. And then, I mean, it's too much mechanics. If I say, like, for example, you know how Average Group says, the urge to jam pulls us all. Indeed, I couldn't resist. I said, I don't have time for another jam because I have 3 projects going on right now. For the videos, obviously, and then my main project. So I was like, Pirates Jam. I won't do it. But I was like, oh, 12 days? Oh, you are the weapon? Oh, GDD's required? You know what? I think this might be a great exercise. So. Average Group says, I joined the indie game dev jam and started a new game today with the 2 nerdy nerds. Are you using your actual main game as part of the game jam game? If anything, you make the GDD and make the game later. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm starting to like doing the GDD thing. I usually don't because I'm so used to doing just the kind of like making the game for the experience. And I'm really focusing on prototyping phase, a lot of it. Because, you know, a lot of people, if you don't have that experience of actually building a game, then you actually end up giving up before you actually get to it. But now I'm at a stage where I'm like, well, if I want to actually finish a product and don't have scope creep too much, I think GDD really helps. So here we are working on our GDD. Yeah. Everett says, no, we made a new game. It's called Backhand Bandits. A hot potato pinball-esque game set in the Wild West. That sounds fun, actually. Pinball hot potato western. I love that. Right now, for the Pirates Jam, I'm thinking of making a deck builder tactics. In short, Into the Breach plus Slay the Spire, in some sense. And I think that could be really fun. You are the weapon. I'm trying to attribute that by saying your life. Or, yeah, your life is the resource you use to use the cards, I think. So enemy hurts you there. But then the thing is, like, the balance will be a little bit tricky because that means as you lose your health, for example, you also lose the opportunity to use your cards. You know what? I think I'm going to do it. Okay. I think it kind of naturally balances itself, so I'm not too worried about it. All right. Let's see how they did it. Mess Flux is a tile-based puzzle game about reducing or generally manipulating the shape of mess of cell blocks to navigate to a goal. I'll call working title as, what should I call this? You're using health. Should the theme be Hey Kado? Welcome, welcome. We're once again in a game jam cycle. I mean, I can't commit to a game jam like I normally do, like overnight all the time. But I think this one seems pretty reasonable. All right, let's think about the theme, though. Maybe I can't work on the title and pitch yet. I mean, I can. I guess I'll just call it a working title here. And then do this as, like, big heading, I guess. Boop. And then I'll bolden this real quick. And here, I'll say working. If I'm typing where, it's because I'm typing over my cat. I'm using my cat as my little hand rest. I was actually tempted to go to your stream earlier, Goop, to get you on something. Goop, did you hear about my most recent crazy idea that I'm working with our viewers? which you may participate in. Tobias says, fluffy, warm wrist rest. Almost. It moves and scratches a little too much. Okay, so for my next video, the working title of the video is I let 100 random viewers design my game, and this is what happened. Essentially, oh my gosh, cat, stop pressing the spacebar. Ow! Get out of here. You scratchy scratch. All right. Sorry about the scream. But basically, the idea is I shared the document to my Discord, being like, hey, everyone, here's an empty doc. Start writing sentence or two or more onto this, whatever goes. I didn't even provide any theme. I said, whatever goes. Only one rule or few rules is that I or do not remove any of the other ideas that other people have added. And so it's like a yes and ultimate yes and. I'm like cross-sourcing game design here, basically. And basically people have edited. I get 3 vetoes at the end or whatever. Well, anything like political or anything sensitive, I'm gonna auto delete. But basically the goal is having like 100 people participate in this like unregulated game design. And so people have been writing on this. Only thing I've done so far is that every now and then I'll gather the ideas together and make it into a one document that makes sense, like organized better. That's the all I'm doing. I'm not deleting or rewording anything. So far, it's been pretty good. This idea is actually pretty interesting. So I'm excited to see some of the other kind of like a level design and stuff come up. So far, it's been a lot of like the lore and some of the game mechanics that popped up so far, but I'm expecting some gameplays actually being planned out here. But basically, Goop, all I'm saying here is that if you go to my Discord and if you open up this document, you're more than welcome to add any number of ideas here and everything will be accepted. Which is funny because right now we have this like kind of like an anti-religion, like the Cult of the Lamb style roguelike puzzle idea where you're a mushroom, but then like different mushroom nations around, and you use ammo. Like everybody's a gunslinger, so ammo is a spore or mushroom, but then that's also your life. And then you're the kind of like the, I don't know, some sort of shaman, last shaman, and every other mushroom nations have given up their religious or deities in order to follow the bodily ways by improving and mutating their mushroom. So different mushroom ammo does different things, and you're out there trying to punish these people. But funny thing is, there's this like random bit where it's like somebody wrote at the end, if you on a stage, if you lose the run, a police arrives and they chase you in a car until you either escape or interrogate it at the station. Which is like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, but I guess the crowd has spoken, so that's something that's happening here. It's just interesting, at least. Goop says, oh, I'm not part of your Discord. Well, you should be. Average Goop says, I'll read through it and see if something inspires me to mess it all up. Yeah, don't mess it all up too much. You can't delete anything. You have to keep everything that's already there. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Okay, so working title is, I think it has to be a roguelike. Roguelike tactics game where you use is that too uninspiring? Roguelike tactics deck builder game where you control your hero. No, where you command your character, or lead, I guess, where you guide your character to victory through various strategic challenges, where you guide your character to victory through various strategic challenges with the working title is Roguelike Tactics Deck Builder game, where you guide your hero, I'll say, to victory through various strategic challenges by building and optimizing your deck to come up with unique combos and or combos and sync? No. What is that thing called where things help each other? Kodo is doing leak code practice. Great. You're gonna interview soon? Okay, worker title is Roguelike Tactics Deck Builder, where you run through. I'm gonna simplify it. Where you play through various strategic challenges by building and optimizing your deck, exploring combos and builds every run. I think that's short enough. Should I mean, but then it doesn't tell you anything about the game world. I'm not gonna get too serious with this. I think conceptually it'll just be like, hey, you're a blood mage. Kado says, nah, just keeping my interview skills sharp. That's good. I have to do that. I probably should do that. I know for a fact that anytime I get back onto the interview world, things become a little bit muddy. I'm like, I have to study all over again because it's been a while. I haven't decided on the art direction yet. Okay, we have all this. Concept, gameplay overview, theme interpretation. I think this is probably important here. Gameplay overview, I think. We should do some levels of deep dive in here. Kado says, although leak code encourages memory leaks since you get a better score if you don't clean up. Well, it's true. And also, you know, that's the thing. Like you can get a really good score with the latency, like the run speed, by doing really bad practices. So it's like, if you're doing it for fun, where you're trying to get points, then you're really not. I mean, but then even then, like knowing how to do that kind of gives you the like a brain, or you know, the habit of thinking more deeply than just solving a problem. So maybe it's a good thing. From there, you gain creativity, maybe. Let's see what they said about this other game on the concept. The player controls a mass of player cells, each with individual status, but moves as collective. Okay. So it's like straight up explaining the gameplay. So I'm gonna say player controls um, the should I call it Blood Mage? You know what? Yeah, I think that's probably fine. Blood Mage controls the Blood Mage main character. Controls okay with the use of cards. I think with unique abilities. So cards. Every movement and action is determined by the cards. So building. Oh, my tabbing skill is really bad. I'm gonna do this right here. Pull this up. So, oops. Ah. Weird. There you go. I have to pull this up. So build a deck. A balanced deck is important to overcoming each level. Over the added complexity of moving through isometric tile map in a tactics style makes the balancing of the deck more complex and or strategically interesting or something like that. I don't know. I probably need a little bit more detail than this, but I'll have to figure that out. Like what I'm actually going to write here. Player controls the Blood Mage with the use of cards. Every movement and action is determined by the cards, so building a balanced deck over a level. Each level is critical. What? So building a balanced deck is important. Oh, important is already there. Okay. I say critical, I guess. Critical to overcome each level. What else? I need to say something about the tactics. Let's see. Nikori says, Ezra trying to convince us that he didn't get the main character idea from the name of one of his viewers, Blood Mage. You know, honestly, I wasn't gonna not. I mean, I wasn't trying to play it off. I purposely thought about that name because of our Blood Mage. One of our um, old, longtime viewers' name is Blood Mage. He's also a mod, technically, so so it's hard to avoid the idea. Anybody who knows knows. Okay. Player controls a blood mage with okay. What's but using the card requires the use of life force, which is the health of the player character. If the player does not manage their health while using the cards carefully, the player does not manage their carefully, the run will result in failure. I know this doesn't make much sense. Like, for example, if I'm saying, hey, move 3 blocks, why would they use any life force? But, you know, that also means there's going to be an issue with, like, having to heal a player. Like, what does that mean? Am I going to be able to have healing within the map? I think there needs to be some sort of, like, health spots. Mikori says, to be honest, it's crazy how quickly Apple starts to ship things that are engraved. I ordered yesterday and it's already shipped. Still gotta wait till the 23rd though. I mean, hey, like they have the whole thing set up, you know, it's like a laser printing, so I'm sure they have that on the lockdown. They want to sell as fast as possible. Also got the laptop coming in the 30th or 3rd. Wow, that's a long time though. It's funny how shipping takes the most time for you. I guess this is because you're not in the States. Things are gonna get interesting here in the States in the next week at least. Yeah. Thanks for the something. Oh, raid. Hello. Sejan or Keegan or Segan. Sieging. Anyways, thanks for the raid. Hope you are having you had a great stream. I do wonder what kind of stream you had at this point. Did you find us because you're also a Godot streamer? Maybe that's it. Maybe that is our commonality. Well, either way, welcome. We welcome you. We're working on Pirate's Gem right now. I don't know if you are also working on it. Keegan. Wow. I don't know. I don't think I've in one of the guesses, was that one of them? Anyways, well, welcome here. We're working on our little game design doc for the Pirate Software Jam. Working on a web game platform that supports Godot and other web-based games. Oh, that's pretty cool. I know Godot web export can be pretty ugly, so good to see someone's working on that. Well, thanks for your hard work, Keegan. Hope you have much success so that we have something to export to. All right. But using the card requires using any cards. I think using cards, I don't think you need using cards require the use of life force, which is the health of the player character. If the player does not manage their health while using the cards carefully, the run will result in failure. So not only are you taking damage from the enemy potentially, but also you're using your health to go through the challenges. Now, theme interpretation. Let's see how they did it over here. It's called You Are the Weapon. You Are the Weapon is applied. Gee, is it? I gotta copy this so I can actually have the format. You are the weapon. Theme. Is shown. Not shown, I think. You're the weapon. Player players characters. Oh, hold on. The player plays, or the player, or is it the player? The player plays as the blood mage, where its life is the weapon and resource. So quite literally, the player's life is the weapon. I don't think I have to explain this any further. It's pretty obvious, right? I think. Mikori says, "You are the weapon, mushrooms." I know. It fits perfectly. Our mushroom ideas fits kind of perfectly. Where its life is the weapon and resource. So quite literally, the player's life is the weapon. Okay, primary mechanics. Spend life. Mechanics. Play cards from the deck. Play cards from the hand. I think that's how you explain that, right? Oh, there's these. I gotta get some water. I'll be back real quick. Well, it was really quick. I just want to play Marvel Rivals, guys. This is hard. At least I want to be able to start drawing something today. So let's get there. Some primary mechanics. So the level is going to be a little bit hard. I think we're going to probably have to do some level design here. But we got play cards. Okay. Playing cards. Which, should I do a chart here? I guess I could do a chart. Can add a chart here. Table. You know what? I don't like charts. Playing cards. Card has cost, or pay the cost written on the card with player's health to activate. Activate. Card or card functions. Activation. There are combination of following effects. Each cards in the game will have some combination of the following effects with various cost and parameters. Parameters being like damage. For example, if there's a damage number. So let's do that right there. I guess I don't have to tab this. I'll just move it over. And then I guess I'll do the kind of like the card activation event. Card effects, I guess. Effects. insert table, and that'll be what? Effect. Description. I guess. Is that all I need, actually? Delete a column. Description. So by default, I think we can kind of think of very easy ones like damage X. Damage X. To I guess I should call it like that. Deal X damage to a target. Guess to target. And I think the target is this. I suppose we definitely need some sort of heal X or refill X to target. You fill health by X amount. Deal X amount of damage to a target. And then we can talk about target types probably. Target types separately. Oh man. I mean, you know what? This is actually, to be fair, this is not a bad exercise because a lot of these things that I'm doing, a lot of the thinking I'm doing in order to come up with these ideas are the things you're going to have to do anyways when I'm coding. Like when I'm coding, I'm going to have to be like, okay, which part of this is parameter? Which part of this is just like a one-time thing? And then sometimes you have to be like, well, how much of this do I make it generally applicable, right? So that I can change the values. Well, this kind of defines beforehand what we're going to do, what we're working with. So, you know what? As much as I hate it, it's not bad. Okay. All right. Refill X damage. I don't want it to be too edgy. I still want it to be kind of cute in terms of like image so that it's like generally approachable. Like I don't want to go anything beyond the seriousness of Enter the Gungeon, to be frank with you. Especially for a gem game, I want to like be able to approach as many people as possible. But I will use all the special I will use all the special graphical effects and all. So we'll see where it goes. Yeah. Okay. Refill. So healing is a thing. Damage is a thing. Obviously, we need. It's a tactics game, so we need movements. So we have movement, move, X, and it'll be like move the character by X amount. Player character by X tiles, I guess? Not by, but up to. Because if you have 3 move, you don't have to move 3 tiles. You can move up to 3 tiles. And then I suppose we need some sort of display or displacement, right? Kind of like the Into the Breach style. So displace X for target tile, I guess. You know what? We don't need a targeting. We don't need damage all or damage a target because it's always going to be a target tile. Interesting. So it kind of removes one of the complexity because every time you activate a card, you have to choose a target where it's being activated to, which naturally comes with, because it's a tactics, you have this thing called range X. Um, range of the card activation. I mean, I could give a drawing example. I don't know if it should be range X or X range. Move, displace X for target tile. I think instead of, yeah. Refill as well. That means each of the cards are going to have impact shape. It's gonna have like area of effect, shape. Shape of the card activation area and range of the card activation. Or instead of range, it should be range shape. It's going to be some sort of shape of the targetable area. Shape of the targetable area in relation to the player character. Yeah, because it's tactics, right? Tactics, the whole tile thing is very important, so that's something we need to focus on. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna change the music here. Chill beats, lo-fi chill beats, because we chill over here. We're just jamming. So far, so good. I think it's pretty interesting. We can displace. I don't know about. Displace direction. Should be move affected target units by X tiles in a given direction. Yeah. So you move a certain range. You know what? I think the effect range should also activation range X. Or target range, I guess. Range X. Card requires a target tile within X range. And then we need target self, I suppose. Card requires. I don't think I need to do anything. I don't think this needs to be indicated. Area of effect shape. So you activate it, you target a unit. I think it needs to be A to B. A2 B. Card requires a target tile within A to B range. If A is not defined, assume A is 0. Area of, so that's the target, and once you do it, it's the area of effect, meaning the shape, right? I feel like this is just simplified by giving a shape instead of making it a number. We'll see, we'll see. Because like it could be just like it's not like a circular range, but just this. Because target range might be 4. You know what? It's okay. Area of effect shape will help that. Shape of card activation area. Yeah. That'll define it. You can display, you can move the character, you can refill health, you can damage. I think there should be another effect. Thanks for something. Thanks for the follow, Vaby. I'm gonna assume that that's Vaby. Thanks for the follow on Vaby on Twitch. We're working on our Pirates Software Jam. A little late. I don't know how dedicated I am, but I do want to finish it. But at the least, as we said, what do you call? At the least, we have the what do you call game design doc. So I'm really interested to see how the art's gonna work out. I really want to focus on the art a little bit because I do end up slacking on that aspect. I mean, I don't slack, but you know, I don't need target types. I don't know about the secondary mechanics just yet. Area of effect shape of the card activation. What else? What else could we have? We got the damage, refill, move. We obviously had the card cost. Playing cards, aka card cost. Play the cost written on the card with the player's health to activate. Life force. We should probably define that. Wow, did you hear? TikTok is banned on US. It's actually gone. It's down. It's not working. I can't open it. Or wait, I can still play it. I can still play it. Doesn't feel like it's down. Is it? If I close it, is it just like the saved videos? Sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. Ooh, it's not available right now. It's gone. There it is. TikTok is gone for US. It's crazy that actually happened. Wow, what a world we live in. That's kind of crazy. Never seen an app actually get banned in the country, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that never happened for us. Goop says VPN still works though, right? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I don't like using VPN on some of my main machines because, for example, if you go to certain websites, they give me the VPN version. Like, for example, if I go to Amazon with like Chinese VPN, for example, then it'll open like Chinese Amazon or something like that. Like their version, the Chinese version. But, you know, you could still use it. Now, if you already have it, then it's not a problem. Do I want to install a VPN just for TikTok? I don't know if I want to go through that. But yeah, it's okay. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Refill X Life Force. I suppose we can do drain instead of refill. Drain X. Steal life force from steal X amount of life from the target unit. Whatever that is. Vapey says, so I'm just going to say I'd wait is the advice I give. Just wait till Monday, lol, but everyone won't do their own thing. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen yet. You know, Monday is the real, test of time. We'll see what happens. I jokingly told my friends, I was like, hey, no, I shouldn't. I'm not going to say anything about this, actually. It's a sensitive topic. Feels weird, says Goob. Spent a lot of time bonding with my wife after dinner just watching TikToks. Yeah, exactly. And that's just gone now. Yeah, you have to find something else, I guess. You might have to just watch my YouTube video or something. Baby says you got Reels or Facebook Shorts. I'm never going to Meta, that's for sure. But maybe Instagram, which is, I guess, Facebook Shorts, right? With Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. I mean, I already do Instagram a little bit, but mostly YouTube. Hey, Willem the friend says, post TikTok ban, I'm picturing a load of US kids emerging from their houses like the beginning of Fallout game. They're coming out. Hey, maybe they will actually participate in the politics. Well, when they become of age. Who knows? I don't know. Who cares? Well, I mean, I do care, but like, I'm not going to talk about it right now. Vaby says Insta is meta. I know Insta is meta. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Well, time to be like, hey, like, here we are, everyone. Okay, what else? I mean, drain, I feel like kind of like is a no-brainer. I think you do need a drain. We need a draw, some sort of draw. Draw X. Will be draw X cards. That means you actually do not have a limit to mana. You know how like a lot of the games do this, like, for example, Slay the Spire, you get 4 mana to spend every turn or something like that. Or 3 mana. What else? Like Hearthstone, you have an incrementing mana that gets added every turn, so by turn 10 you have the maximum amount of mana, which is 8. So there's a lot of mana capping or resource capping in card games. There is actually essentially in the beginning you have no resource cap. You can play as much as you want, as much as your life endures. The problem is once you spend it and you don't have time to regain it, you're kind of like stuck. So that's going to be an interesting mechanic that's kind of unique to this game if this ever happens. I think there's a potential to this. Even if it's not tactics. Part of me is regretting it being a tactics game because tactics AI is a pain in the butt. But we'll see. Vaby says it'll be on Ben Monday. I mean, that's a strong possibility. We'll find out. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. Share stream real quick. Everybody hang out, chat around. it's kind of crazy that it's actually happening. We'll see. See what happens. Draw X cards. Okay, drawing is, I mean, it's a default thing. I feel like all of these things are good. I think the drain is kind of unique, right? Because you have to drain resources from the enemy. We want a combo. We want a strong combo here. So we're going to have something that's like unique, which is going to be some power-ups here. Double next. Or double damage. Double next damage. Next instance of damage. Should it be next instance or next card activation? Should be double the damage of the next attack. Or target card, I should say, double. Should I? Okay, so if I use a double damage card, should it be the next card that gets doubled? Or next applicable card? Or should I be able to target the card? Because what if I use the double damage draw and there's no... Yeah. Thanks for the follow, Monster Twerk. Monster Twerk. I love a Monster Twerk. Anyways. We're working on our Pirates Jam game design doc here. Let's see. Double damage? I don't know. I haven't decided. I feel like it's more interesting to double the damage of the next instance. Because I feel like that's more applicable. So there could be some unimaginable combos, I think. Double damage. Double the damage next. Double the next instance of damage? Actually, instead, it should be vulnerable. Vulnerable. X. Damage is apply vulnerable for X turns, I think, to a target. Yeah, apply vulnerable for X turns to a target if a unit is vulnerable, all incoming damage is doubled. Deal X amount of damage and gain that much life force. See? This is a combo right there, right? So I can do drain on a vulnerable target to gain even more health. So that it's not just locked mechanically. Yeah, I think that's good. Part of me is like, should I have like the Slay the Spire type like items to combo off of instead of it being purely card? Because sometimes the items really make it huge, right? So for example, if I have an item or relic that says like you gain 1 life force every time you draw, you might have a very specific build for that. I think we should probably have relics here. Probably instead of calling it relics, Let's see. Should be normal text. I guess we could call this relics here. Or I gotta do this right here. So this relics. Yeah. Relics are special items the player can collect throughout. Can collect for the duration of a single run, which adds additional effects. So I'm thinking about stuff like if I insert here, I'll do another chart. Right, we're gonna have like the relic description. It's going to have something like what should this be called? Finger of I don't want to do anything serious, I guess. I could just call it a bloody finger. Every time a player draws a card, oh, hold on. Every additional card player draws in a turn, player gains 1 life. Right? That's like the player. So instead of, because you don't get guaranteed life, if you're doing a draw build, if you do an additional draw besides the automatic draw you get in the beginning, you get, life. I'm not sure if it should be the recycle method, like the Slay the Spire. You know how Slay the Spire throws the entire hand at the end of the turn and then redraws everything? I don't know what kind of like balance implications that'll have. I don't know. That's something to think about. I suppose that should be part of the mechanics here. Primary mechanics here. I suppose I could have a turn. Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about the turn. Player turn. Draw hand. Unless modified by effect or relics. Within a run, player draws. Or 1, 2, 3, maybe 5. 5 cards are drawn for the player. I think that's fair. And then what's next? Player can play as many card as they can and want. Can. I mean, I guess this needs to be there. As many card as they can afford in a single turn. The player can play as many cards as they can afford in a single turn. End of turn when the player ends a turn. Whatever is remaining in the hand, I suppose that's a keyword, is discarded. Hi, Noxy. Noxy says, "Hi everyone, nice game jam, exciting." Yeah, it's kind of fun. I like it. I like the theme. So far, we're making a tactics deck builder into the Spire. How about that? It's literally Into the Spire, where you play a character and your mana is your life. So, yeah, there's interesting mechanics that comes through that, I think. The part of me thinks that the tactics portion of the game is kind of unnecessary. Like, I don't know why I would. You know what? I think that's kind of necessary, actually. Because if I don't do the tactics portion, yeah, I think this, yeah. I think, though, I think you can recycle any cards to move the amount of its cost without spending any cost. Ooh, I think I should do that. Yeah. So movement can be done by um, recycling a card, which is to say, discard a card by choice. You might be like, hey, that means you have infinite movement. Maybe it should be you can move one space by discarding one, or two spaces by discarding. No, you know what? It should be. It should be like that. I think you should be able to. Okay. Player turn. Discard it. Cards. Recycle cards. Voluntary or recycle cards. The player can discard a card to move their character by number of tiles equal to the cost of the card. So that way, I think there's a way for kind of strategic backing off from the bad position without having to spend one's health. And if there's any type of like very special movement, like some of the actions will come with the movement, then that should cost something, I think. I don't know if there should be always a recycle options, like you can do one thing if you recycle a card. That would also mean that people will be ooh. What if you can recycle cards to heal? Okay, I think interesting. Yeah, I think you could do that. Walk or walk. And then we have recycle card. Heal. The player can discard a card to heal 1 health. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I can have something like life Like it's like doubling the effect of healing for next 2 turns. That means your recycles are more powerful. Right? So we can have something like should it be a life drain? No, it should be blood boil X. Apply blood. Whatever. We'll rename the for X turn to a target for the duration of the for the duration of the effect, all life gaining is doubled. I don't know. Anybody have any idea on the naming of it? Maybe this should be something else, but I think it would be fun. Okay, what else? We got the draw, we got drain, where it's basically lifelink. We got blood boil. And I think we can have. I think we might have. Might as well have. Noxy said, not much of a tactics mechanic guy. Haha. Sorry, Az. No, it's all good. I mean, I'm just thinking some of the interesting effects. Some of them that can work really well with each other, right? Obviously, we have draw. I think we can have something like. Blood reading. We're calling it all blood, but there must be a better name. Blood reading. X. I mean, these are all effects. We need to be careful with this type of effects. Apply blood reading for X turns to the target. To a target. Get. For the duration of the effect, draw a card. Or effect, target draws a card. I guess it's not even a target, it's a rating for X turns to player. For the duration of the effect, draw 1 card. Whenever player deals a damage. Deals damage. And that's a single instance, not per life dealt. It's not per damage dealt. It's every instance of damage dealing. So I could see potentially drawing and Blood Boiling, and then you have this relic, Bloody Finger, which can be really harmonious. A lot of effects here. This also means I need to have a lot of cards that needs to start getting together. I don't know what combination of these things I'm gonna have to have. We can have False Life. We'll have False Life here. There's a temporary, so it's like temporary effect. Gain X temporary health for this turn. The remaining temporary health is removed at the beginning of players or casters next turn. All right, so we got some card effects. These are really, there's a lot. What else? Some interesting stuff here. False Idol, which will be gain 3 false 3 or some number. 3 false life every turn. Ironheart is gonna be probably like I don't know if there needs to be a shield though. Because you can position. You can avoid damage by positioning, so you don't really need to shield. But there's no concept of tanking, I suppose. Monster Twuck says, what about blood control, where the user controls the enemy till the amount of turns are done, and then for like how many turns vulnerable? That's really interesting. I actually like that idea a lot. I really like it. And you can probably detect hesitancy in my voice is only because I see a potential complexity in applying that effect, but you know, sky's the limit. I love that. Blood control. Crimson Puppet. Where the user controls the enemy till the amount of turns. Yeah. Target player can control of turns are done, and then for like how many turns vulnerable. Ooh, are you saying the control can only happen to a vulnerable target? You know what? If a unit is vulnerable, all incoming... I don't know how I'm going to distinguish it. It would be fun to do like all incoming blood effect. Oh. Well, I'm not going to complicate this. This is getting potentially complicated, but I like this. Crimson Puppet is like player can control a target vulnerable character for this turn. Yes. Lovely. Love that. Okay. So this only works if you have vulnerable. So naturally, I think there can be a card. So we're going to have blood control. And basically, there could be a card that applies vulnerable to blood control, which is to say it applies vulnerable for 2 turns and then activate blood control. So when you target a character, you can apply the vulnerability first, and then the blood control happens. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. Naturally, that means we're going to probably have to come up with lists of cards that we can have and what the starting cards should be. So at base, like the very first effect, right? The experience is that I have tactics map, or yeah, I have a map. There's an enemy. There's some obstacles. And it's not just fighting. There's some stuff happening. So I think what we're gonna do is like, oh hey, you're protecting something. So mission, right? You're trying to protect something, and you get to see everything. Turn. Here. Enemy turn. Enemy. AI. Moves. Decide at the end of enemy turn. Decide and display what the enemy will do next. How does Into the Breach do it again? They move the character and then display what they're gonna do. At the end of the enemy turn, move and what do you call it? Not signal. Not, there's a word for it where you show what's about to happen, where you're like giving a tell. It's like synonymous to word signal. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. There's a word for it. It's not signal. Oh my gosh. Synonym for signaling, but for pre-broadcasting action. There's literally... There's a word. Oh my gosh. Not gesture. Broadcasting. Broadcast. Oh my gosh. Announce? Maybe that's the word I'm looking for? Declare? It's like some sort of communicate word. Ah! Hold on, hold on. I have to. There's a word for this. for verb. Motion nod. This is gonna bother me so much. Whatever. Enter move and show what next action will be. Enemy AI performs indicated action, then moves. Then indicate the next action. There you go. All right. Well, good enough. Warning is not it. It's a little bit more complex word. I think. I'll know when I hear it, but I feel like I'm not even sure anymore if I will know if I hear it. If I'm like imagining it. It's like kind of like it's like a simile a little bit. It's like it has the same feeling as broadcasting, I think. Or like gesture, mime, signal. It's like revealing intention. Verb, word, meaning revealing and indicating intention. This is where ChatGPT comes in handy, right? I don't want to show all my stuff here. Help me figure out this word. What is the word meaning? What is the verb word meaning revealing and indicating intention? The verb you're looking for might be signal or indicate, convey, imply. It's a bit more abstract of a word, I think. Betray. Maybe I'm just imagining this. Even ChatGPT. Forecast? Maybe forecast. Forecast is a good one. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just like imagining this. Gain 10 max health. Crimson Heart, which will be think +1 cost for all you lose half, or you lose 1 health every time you deal damage, but the damage is doubled. I like that. What else? I think forecast feels right. But also it could be that I'm now too deep in it. Like I can't, even if you said it, I wouldn't be able to recognize it anymore. What else? We could do We could say, let's see, this could be like Wizard's Hat, and say that's gonna be like start the game with 10 cards in hand instead of 5. Just in the beginning, not all the time. I think there's an exhaust, I think. Exhaust. Hope I don't get sued. Card is not exiled. Removed from the deck for this round. And I'll have one where it's going to be interesting mechanic here. Hope you a good imagery for it. Because I'm thinking about a mechanic where Relic allows you to recycle a card. Whenever you recycle a card, that card gets exhausted. So we can do something like running shoes. Whenever doesn't quite, might be something like instead of recycling, I guess you're just throwing it away. So you could say something like trash warm. Whenever you recycle, the card is exhausted. Removed from the deck. That could be interesting. Like you could try to thin out your deck for like a boss fight so you have a high combo. That could be interesting, right? Noxy says you forgot to write lose before the 1 health. Oh. Crimson Heart, you you lose 1 health every time you deal damage, but the damage is doubled. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna start with this. There's a lot of potential here. Maybe there could be a fun thing where I'm coming up with all the cards. So these are card effects. And obviously we're going to have some cards here. We'll see. Is there anything missing here? Did all that. Okay. So we got the primary mechanics, which is card mechanics mostly. Suppose playing cards. Cards. And this is going to be, I think, heading 4 actually. Card effect, and we're going to have relics. Actually, maybe not. I think the next thing I need to have, this will be primary mechanics. I wanted to include a part about not the cards, but the stage, right? So we need stage design. Levels. So I actually want to have level mechanic design. So level will be like the round, a single instance. Why is that so thick? How come these are... I'll copy this. Oops. So do something like that. We're going to call this level mechanics and design. Right? Does it show up on top? Oh. I guess I have to do this manually, huh? Can I just add it? Table of content. Ah! No! Insert. Table of content. Table of contents. Oh, I can do that. Cool. All right. So I'll do that at the end. Working title. Design document. Da da da. Introduction. Okay. Cool. Interesting, interesting. Let's see. I mean, art. I don't know why it needs to be theme interpretation there for the art. While maintaining the very limited color palette theme, the sole use of black and white. I don't know if this was ever a theme though. For us, I think. Is basically just a weapon, let's be real. Whatever the case, you exist to influence your surrounding in some direct way. Have fun with the theme and do something weird with it. Okay. So there's no limitation there. So I don't think I need to really have an art interpretation here. But generally, I think there should be some guidance. Like what? I'm not sure. But I do think... Let's see, I'll copy this over real quick. Yeah. So... few things here. We got the color scheme. We got the character design. Player characters. Environment. And then enemy characters. I don't know if I'm being too detailed on my game design doc here, but I feel like these are things I'm going to have to consider anyways. That's why I'm writing it. You know, normally I'm not sure if you're supposed to or not. But, you know, why... Like, there's no harm in doing all these work if it's a work that I need to do anyways, except now it's written down. And benefit to this is actually I could just get people to work on this once I'm done designing. So there's that one benefit, right? If you can call it that. So yeah. We're getting through it. Color scheme. Okay, let's think about this a little bit. So main theme is blood. So I think to invoke the theme of the blood mage, we want to keep the character's color palette somewhere in the warm red. This means we want to make sure environment contrast color contrasts nicely with cool colors. Also, the environment color contrasts nicely by using cool colors. Meanwhile, cool colors. Extending this decision on the environment, all the or sprites of interest, interactables, enemies, etc., should maintain warm tone to contrast from the background. However, avoid direct red to be distinguishable from the player character. Right? So we have this. Considering this following color palette has been chosen. And we're going to go through it right now, I think. New. I mean, it doesn't really matter how big the size is, but we'll do 64 for now. And this will be color palette on Godot doc. Under documents, I think. Godot project. Somewhere in here. Ah, there it is. Godot project. We're calling this. Oh, the song stopped. I'm gonna play the song again. Whew. We are going at it here. How long has it been? 2 hours. We've been online for 2 hours. Hey, might as well. I mean, this is the spirit of the game jam, right? A little bit tired, a little bit unrelenting, but we'll get through it. I mean, I feel pretty good though. Look, I mean, this is kind of an achievement being able to kind of write down all this. It's almost as good as having made the game because the image and the idea of the gameplay is very clear in my head. So I'm surprised to find that writing the game design doc is actually pretty helpful so far. Now, with anything that is formal, like writing a document, the problem is though it's very resistant to change. Noxie says, "Is it the first time you do it like that?" For a non-professional thing, it's my first time. For obviously like my day job, which I don't have anymore, but like back in the day when I was working for software, this is kind of the pattern you follow. But for my like solo projects, I haven't done that. No. Um, I've done a lot of like scratchpad designing, like the ideation on the scratchpad. So a lot of like brainstorming and then brainstorming plus where I organize and rewrite the brainstormed idea. But to put it like very structurally, I don't think I've actually done it to this level, like this much thought process. But once again, it's nice, but one bad thing is that it is it is resistant to change. Um some of the more like free flowing idea, like right now I haven't thought about the story, I haven't thought about the artistic direction or some of the gameplays and if it is actually fun. I haven't even gotten to the point of like having a some sort of proof of concept or paper prototype, so to speak, to see if it is fun. But right now, interesting about Pirate Jam is that the way they use the wording is that the submission is game design doc plus prototype. That is to say, Your final product of the gem is the prototype that you're using to test if the game is fun or not. So instead of trying to target for 2 days of prototyping, you're targeting for a full week of prototyping, which is like really encouraging a full game development process. So yeah. But yeah, Noxy, to answer your short answer long, that's the answer. I swear I saved a folder here. Where's the folder? My Godot project. What did I call it? Oh, pirate. Oh, here it is. I found it. I'm gonna make a folder here. Let's call it image miscellaneous. We're gonna have a palette here. And I think so. Noxy says, "Yeah, I get what you mean. I did a document for the first time for the school thing last month. It does feel good, but it gets me frustrated not having a small prototype to play." Yeah, exactly. You know, I can't ignore the benefit of it. It definitely gets it better. I think if you're really planning on finishing something, doc does help. I think it does help a lot. But you know, you don't always get the kind of luxury to do that. But yeah. All right. Back to the music though. Where did the music go? Play this one. Yeah. I think it's really cool when you work with multiple people. When you're solo, not so much, I guess. I mean, even, yeah. Yeah, I think that's a big part. But also, having a main designer helps a lot. But if you're like type of team that likes to design together, this could be kind of a hassle sometimes. Because who's writing what? All right. Um. So we're going for this like crimson red. Now, mind you, I'm kind of colorblind, so that's very vibrant. Very vibrant. So I'm gonna lower the saturation here a little bit. I'm gonna change this to square version of the color wheel. Not that. There you go. And we want to live somewhere around here, I think, for all the colors. We don't want to wash it out either, so I guess I'm going for a warm tone. Warm tone instead of this like ultraviolet tone. Because I think there's an opportunity for enemies to be some sort of what they call enemies to be some sort of purple. Shift it just a tiny bit since this is the main color. And if we imagine, yeah, we're gonna go for yellow shift. So we're going warm for bright. And I'm gonna just make sure I don't drop it too much by squinting here. Still a little bit. I think, hold on. We're here actually. If we're here, honestly, if we're actually here, the next thing right here needs to be more like over here, I think. Yeah. Maybe like this. Because it's supposed to do this. So I'll do it right here. Maybe drag it out a little bit more. Maybe I want it slightly darker, actually. Still brighter. but slightly desaturated. And I think I'm going to move it down to yellow territory, actually. Pull it out a little bit more. And if you desaturate something, it naturally becomes brighter. Like that. So if I'm over here, if I pull it over here, I think I need to drop the saturation. And this movement feels a little bit too sudden. This is a little bit bright too. I'm gonna keep it dark. There you go. And then one more bright color. I might have to skip some of these coloring. This is a bit of a jump here to here. Then I'm gonna go for really bright here. Of course, I think we need something like this. From afar, it doesn't seem too crazy. And of course, naturally, this goes into the darker territory. And move over a little bit more, saturate it out. And then our blackest of the black would be probably something like this. Not quite hitting the actual dark color. Kado says, what was your favorite CS class in school? Just curious. Forgot what they called it. My favorite class is still, it's the same class. I had a semester. What did I call it? Basically, I took a lot of, it was where I learned circuits, like the logic gates. And then we made, we did circuits. And then after that, second half, we did assembly. And then with a C on top of that right there. And then as an example of using C and assembly logic, we made Game Boy games, like the original Game Boy games on the simulator. That was my favorite CS class. This one I don't think is dark enough, actually. I don't know. Yeah. This one actually needs to be darker too. Or maybe it is dark enough. There you go. Okay, so this is the main character color. And I think what I want to do here, for the background, we said we want it kind of contrasting cool. We're going to pull it out a little bit. And generally, we want the main color to be desaturated. But also, I was thinking something like this. So, for example, if I do this, let's say we make a ball. I think that's a good example here. So if we make a little ball image, for example, and we say, hey, it's a ball with the light, and we're kind of circling it. And this is the border, and we make the colorful border. And then we make a little highlight, like so. I guess this should be like that. No. And we're just transitioning into this, like so. And this is the shadow, right? Because shadow is all dark. Then we do something like that, right? Then the deep shadow takes over. The darkest is right here. bit brighter. Like that. I mean, this is the same concept I think the Pokemon used. Like that. And then maybe a little bit of feathering. Like that. And then over here on the edges, I could always choose to go something like this, where I gotta make sure it's still brighter than this, but darker than the highlights. Darker than the highlights, brighter. And then have it like kind of like saturate it and put a little rim light like that. Or maybe it needs to be a little brighter. This could be really interesting if you had something like this, right? Have this like, oh, what's going on here? Maybe I can make the thing a little smaller. Like that. Yeah. Very interesting color scheme, right? But yeah, that's just kind of how it goes. Maybe this can be even more interesting. Push it over a little bit. Trying to see which rim light works for this particular example. And for the sake of art, this can get pretty strong, the rim light, I mean. And it's still forgivable. Okay, that's pretty good. So I'm going to use this as like the main rim light. So dark light. I think this could work. That means probably the environment is something along there, because that's what justifies this, right? The rim light being this is that the environment is in this color scheme, right? That's the environmental color. So we can have something like this, something even brighter. So in between is desaturated here, right? So we're like, oh wow, it's desaturated. And this happens because this really bright color is mixing with the almost opposite color, I think. I think that justifies it a little bit. So weird. And that's some sort of transitioning color, you could say, right? And that means if this is the main color of this environmental field, I want to pull it down, actually. Pull down the saturation here, actually. It's a little too bright. And I'm gonna bring this over even more, actually. We'll do this. There you go. I think nobody questions that too much. I just want to make sure this is not too saturated. All right, now we're gonna do shift. I don't know what it's closer to. Is it closer to yellow? No, it's not. I have to figure this out. So I'm gonna figure this out. We got the pink shift. Then we got the blue shift. So what I'm trying to look for is that what feels warmer in comparison to this. So in compared to this color, does this feel warmer or this feel warmer? I feel like this is warmer, right? This is colder. Am I right? The blue feels warmer compared to the pink, right? If you're trying to compare these two. So warm is light for us. So we want this here and want this here. I think. That is to say, as we shift over here, we drop it out and then we brighten it, which is a lot of work. But we're gonna get there. So we shift to the blue, Drop saturation a little bit. And we start to get brighter. And if we shift purple, we get darker, I think. It needs to be a little bit more drastic so we can see this jump, I think. So if we come here, drop it a little bit more. Yeah, I think. I don't know. Once again, I'm colorblind, so who knows? Then we go pretty strong to the light. Then we pick this out like that. Then we'll shift over darker, even darker. This one can't even be darker. Yeah. This is kind of similar to this, so I think I could choose to use that. Notification. Thanks for the sub, Sebastian, on YouTube. Welcome, welcome. Then we can go. Oh, that's like really dark. I think maybe we could go one more then. Oh, wrong direction. Go over here, I think. Let's drop it down like that. It's not bad. We got two colors here. We got the environment, I think. Some sort of environmental combinations. Environmental blue. Main character red. Main character rim light. For a purple environment. What else? We need some sort of green, I think. Got this. I mean, it's already a 1-2 opposite. I think in comparison to this environment, we might need something green. Like so. Yeah. But significantly desaturated. Yeah. Because at least it connects to this guy. I think this might, because that will complete the triad at least. All right, so we got this, and then we get a little kind of teal-ish green here. Which is an approach towards a green. And I think that could be the enemies. Really dark. And we'll just move that towards warm. Yeah. I gotta make sure it's desaturated though. A little bit. Too strong. Then over here. I think I could just use this, honestly. This is still darker than this. I'm simplifying palette already. I don't think this is bright enough. I need to brighten it up a little bit. That way. This doesn't have to be. Yeah. It's hard to tell. I think this is brighter, but who knows? Noxy says, I think that scientifically blue flames are warmer than red ones. Yeah, sure. Like you mean it's hotter. It burns hotter. Uh I'm talking about like color theory wise, like a warm tone. Like the blue is cool tone, red is warm tone. But like the sense wise, when you look at a color, you know, you either just go, okay, that's a kind of warm tone. This is a warmer tone. This is a brighter tone. So I was kind of like talking about it more in that way. This jump is a little bit too sudden, huh? Might need more connecting one. Honestly, I might have to do this one. Not similar enough to actually combine them. Maybe this needs to be this. This one needs to go over there. Yep, definitely darker. It's naturally getting darker. I don't even need to desaturate them too much. Probably drop it down all the way here though. Try to do that. Drop that out. I might have to drop it out even more actually for this one. Then go over here, drop it all the way. This one goes here. Okay. So we have 3 main colors, kind of. Um, let's see. Do we need transitioning colors? I don't know if that's something that people do. So for example, we want to go from here to here. Here to here. So we want to bridge it with something like this. So the way I think it does that is by significantly desaturating. Gonna bring it up so that matches the tone, the brightness. I think so. I can go do that, desaturate, which makes it brighter. So I tone it down even more. It's a little brighter. Tone it down. It's a little dark, like that. And then I can shift even. Actually, it might not be here. I gotta see it in the number wheel. So color wheel here. So you see how this is over here, and this is over here. So the transition, I think, is actually this. It goes like this instead of like this. Unless I want to make it go like this, which I can if I want to make it more colorful. This to this is more like this. So I can actually do one of these things. This, this. So more like this right here. Boop, 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 boop. Something like that. This one to this is more like this. So you have this thing right here. I think it can go up a little bit. Oh, actually, it's a little bit too far left. I'm looking down here right now onto the color wheel. Make sure that it's kind of centered. There you go. Okay. So we can get something closer. It's a pretty good transition right there. Only thing is from here to here is a little dramatic. Here to here. Go right here. On that line. Right here on that line. Like that. almost immediate pink. Yeah. And halfway looks like this. This one halfway probably looks something like that. Dum, dum, dum. Yeah. Pretty extreme here. I mean, it's not necessarily that's how it works, but I mean, in terms of color transition, these two colors look very similar to me. Do they look distinguished to you guys? This looks very similar to me, honestly. But yeah, I'm gonna catch this. Call this. It's a really bright color. We're probably gonna have one of these things like that. That. And then I have the transitional colors. 1, 2, 3. And keep these. Then have the transitional colors. And keep these. And back to the transitional colors right here. There you go. Yay, color palette. Kind of. Trim. Layer. View. Select. Frame. Sprite. Trim. Alright, this will be our palette here. Export as palette PNG. I suppose I can just copy and paste this, hopefully, to the document. Very tiny. Oh. Okay, well. Let's make a big version of it. Thanks for the follow. Send on Sandank memes. Not me being a boomer. Yeah, thanks for following Twitch. Sandank memes. Okay. Let's see. We might want to blow this up a little bit, but I might as well just screen cap, right? So I'll do that. There you go. Boom. And then we just go, ooh, here it is. Here's our color. Uh-huh. Maybe we can just be like, environment, enemy. I can be like, player, environment, enemy. Okay. Player character motif. Let's see, Blood Mage. I'm thinking. Character should players should feel. No, I don't know if they should feel like they can see themselves in it. It would be nice to be able to see. Nice. If players can somehow identify with the character. This can be done with playstyle enforced via starting character. However, there's no current plan of having different types of characters with multiple with various designs. So let's make a masked figure with gender neutral hair or hood. Entire motifs should come from simple. I think capes are good. So let's do some player character here. Pixel art. 32 by 32. Maybe 64 by 64 character. Do a little palette. This is our palette here. So we're going to use this. Let's see. What's something we can do? So Blood Mage, hood, and a mask, right? Some mask designs. Ooh, I like this type of like half mask or a full mask. I think this like quarter mask is good, like kind of like the Phantom of the Opera feel, or this ostentatious. Maybe there's a mask customization, but it's kind of isometric top down, right? So, angle wise, I think. Do we want cutesy or... Yeah, that's the thing. Do we want cutesy or serious? I don't want to have that much detail, I think. Right? I'm going to get some inspirations here. Into the breach. Let's look at this. This one is like mech is very detailed, I think. Yeah, it has multiple things, angles. So it has very much a large amount of design aspect to look at. So I think main design principle typically ends up being like large, medium, small. So the large shape. Ooh, you know what? What if the large shape resembles a drop of blood? So kind of like a silhouette is something like a liquid. Oh my gosh. Very much flowing. Right? This is the silhouette, and then I can evolve it from there. So if this is the silhouette, and we're trying to create some sort of shape out of this, this might be interesting, like this. Yeah. So I'm thinking like more of a... If we have something like that, and then we can have some sort of sections here, for example. And then have some sections here. Okay, pretty cool. We're gonna dig a face out here. Slight contrast. This probably like that. We said there's a quarter mask, so we can have a kind of like the mask thing going on. That is more of a, what's the shape? That, for example. Okay. And then I should probably move this out a little bit. We're just evolving this shape a little bit, I think. See what that looks like. A little bit of a hood falling over. Okay. Some dark shapes here. That's what we're gonna do. Dark shapes. There you go. I think this could work. The skin underneath could be pale of some sort. Then I'm going to cut out some of the shapes here for the face. Which I don't know what's going to look like. And I guess I could just say this is kind of like generally green, but we're going to live in the dark part of it. And where the light hits, it'll be slightly brighter. So instead of white, we're probably going to hit orange here. That means we're going to darken this area a little bit. I think generally the light hits here and here, so we're going to remember that. We're going to have light here, and rest is going to just be dark. We're going to simplify some of these shapes. Yeah. Maybe just a cheek. And it's taking over more than half, so I'm going to cut this out too. Then keep everything else in the dark, except the cheek area, I think. And the nose, maybe. Then I'll bring it up. We'll just have a simple line. There you go. Then, of course, congruent style here. This is inherently really bright, so I'm going to darken up the main color a little bit and keep the brighter saturated light for some of the main points. Yeah. I'll say it's probably top down. It's too bright. This material shouldn't reflect that brightly. There you go. Let's see. So we got this thing going on. And then We'll darken the eye area. This one as well, we're going to just do a dark spot for the eye area. Yeah. And then we're just going to dig the hole. Don't want to be too detailed, so I'm going to start simplifying some of the colors here. Becomes pain in the butt to animate if it becomes too detailed. So I'm starting to work on simplifying the colors here and the shapes. I do want the mask to stand out, so I'm going to give also a very clear demarcation between this and this. I think I can use this color right here. Yeah. There you go. Thanks for the sub on YouTube, Carl Bros and on. Okay. And we're probably just going to have some shoulder lighting here in a bit, but I want to do this. Give an opportunity to have some sort of like spread out. This is gonna catch some shoulder light and the shoulder light. There you go. And we're gonna catch this like that. There you go. Some ear stuff, maybe. And I'll catch the underneath with the light. I feel like the inside should probably reflect some lighting. There you go. I think that's good. Pinch that. We'll have some of this. Okay. It's looking very serious. I think I'm gonna actually even go darker on these eye hole. And this will probably go like that. Ooh, I have a phone call. Just a second. I'm gonna mute myself real quick. I'm back. Phone calls are phone calls. I think this character design doesn't look too bad. I wonder if I should actually make a full body or not. Like, I don't know what the body's gonna have, though. That's the real question. I think rather than this, actually, might be better to have one of these rim lights. It feels more ethereal to have the rim light, right? There you go. Actually, you know what? That's not half bad. Doesn't look half bad at all. I love that. Good. I think that works. Maybe remove that. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Geez. Bear Like Land says, "How's it going? It's going all right." More than anything, we just finished kind of like ideating on the idea for the game jam, and now we're just kind of working on some character sprites here before we actually get into the development, because we're writing the game design doc, and it's kind of part of it. So we are on it. We're on it. So we're making some blood mage design here. I think his face does kind of stand out nicely, actually. And this pale is not terrible. Because it kind of makes sense that it would be pale. Right? Because he's got no blood. So the game jam is the Pirates game jam, which I think a lot of people know. The theme was "You Are the Weapon." So I'm making here's the pitch. Let's see if the pitch makes sense to you since you just joined. This is a good test. So it's still working title, but this game is a roguelike tactics deck builder where you play through various strategic challenges by building and optimizing your deck, exploring combos and builds every run. Inspiration is Into the Breach plus Slay the Spire. Main mechanics is that you play your card by using your health as a resource. So instead of using mana, your life is a resource you pay to play the cards. But of course, there are different mechanics like life steal. You can recycle your cards to move your character, or what did I say? Heal your character by one. So there's some things some cards will have, and there are relics like Bloody Finger, which is every additional card player draws this turn or in a turn, the player gains 1 life, right? Because like this is important. Like all these combos are important because you're using your life to play the game, which is to say you have no limit in a turn how many cards you can play, except the fact that you have certain amount of health. So that's just kind of thing. So you're playing Blood Mage, so you are the weapon in that Blood Mage, you know? Your life is your weapon. I think there's that's pretty much self-explanatory, I think. But yeah, so I am currently designing the player character, the Blood Mage, and the motif I'm using is the blood drop, right? The silhouette, I started with the blood drop as the silhouette. And so I'm going from there. Thinking about the body here. And then went for the mask. kind of like the Phantom of the Opera mask to have like the somewhat gender neutral, identity neutral. Yeah, it's a card battler where card cost equals player health, but it's card battler? Is that what it's called? The tactics with card? You build a deck to play it, but it's tactics in that you move character around in an isometric map. But yeah. Yep, that's the kind of summary of it. Let's see. I think it might be beneficial to have something like this. I don't know if it flips like this. Maybe it needs to be more like this. You know? It's hard to tell what shape I should do. I guess that's not bad. I could just do that. Yeah. Durblank Core says, hey, can I ask you a kind of difficult question? Maybe it depends. Whoops, I didn't mean to pin that. Jeez. Unpin this message, yeah. My friend has an issue with his stream. It is playing on half speed without buffering, and his GPU is 100% at all times. Do you have any idea why it might be like that? Sorry if it isn't about your stream right now, but I am really clueless. Thank you for your time anyways, and even if you can't help, thank you. Half the speed? Like even the sound is half the speed, or just the video? Because if that's the case, I mean, it could be the FPS, like the video capture FPS issue. Otherwise, it could be latency issue, like the internet speed, like the upload speed issue. It could be a lot of things, I guess. But that's my guess. I mean, once again, it's just a guess, so. But if it's like literally the speed of the video as well, then it could be some of those things. I do think the capture is limited by RAM, I think. Club Spee on YouTube says, what's going on with the management space exploration game? It looks really fun. It's still going. We're working on it very hard. I'm working on it off and on stream, you know, between everything, coming back to the thing being a video making and all. It's still going. It's just I have a lot of other video ideas that I'm working on in between, so you're not seeing as much updates, but we haven't given up on it. We have some new ideas that we're exploring with it, actually, because last time we were updating it, well, on my video at least, the devlog, it was like basically just little text-based adventure mostly, with a little bit of update and a slight core management. But we're adding some aspect of like turn-based combat type of situation, or turn-based action during an event like fire, which I think is good. There's some ship customization that we're adding, so we can have like multiple different types of ships that players can kind of play with. So I think it's all going pretty nicely. Durblank Core says audio is fine. Yeah, it's probably the capture FPS then. Thanks for the follow, Derblink. Flipsp says, what's going on? Oh, you said it in both YouTube and Twitch. Okay, well, yeah. It's still there. I'm excited. I'm excited to share it. And, my goal is still, well, our goal, I should say, because at the moment, my artist and me, we're doing rev sharing, so we're kind of like co-owner at the moment for the game, and we are saying, yeah, we're really going to try and aim for getting a booth on PAX this year, which means we really need to finish it. But, it's okay if we don't. But I want to. I think the walking could be just kind of silhouetted. So I think I'm gonna do a little bit of wavy bottom thing. So I'm gonna carve out some shape here. Something like that. It's not bad, right? And I'll probably do something like this. So the peaks are more highlighted. Like so. And yeah, maybe we can polish this a little bit. Here. I'll darken this area a little bit. Doesn't feel too much. This goes like that. We'll have some highlights. Not too much. Just minor. General concept. Yeah, there it is. What do you think? Yeah. I don't know. Does it look too realistic? I feel like I should probably do some little bit more. My concern is that it doesn't look cartoony enough. Like it looks too serious and kind of scary, low key. We'll see. Let me put a little outline on it and see how that looks. It's really risky not going for cutesy, I think. Also, I got to think about the thumbnail. How it looks as a thumbnail on YouTube video when I post this, the devlog, if I do. It needs to be like, oh yeah, it's not that serious. It's like some stuff. But if it looks too serious, I think it can be a little scary. Not bad, I think. Let's see. I think I might be able to afford. I might be able to simplify the color even more. One of these things. Do rim light here, I guess. Then I'll keep this in the shadow, I think. suppose if it comes from the front, it wouldn't make all that noise, huh? I could just make it coming from the top, maybe? Yeah. Then maybe I'll just do a little highlight. Yeah. And do one of these things. That. Mm. Something's still missing about this. Something about the lighting is inconsistent here. I mean, I can make it so that it's like just band of light. For example, I could just do one of these things instead. Like that. And then all these is just dark. Instead. Usted. Um. Gonna have to think about this. Gravemouth says it's like a fantasy youngin from Squid Game. I love it. Oh, I guess I could see that. You mean the black mask, right? True. He does wear a mask. I just need to make sure the dimensions are right, though. But I do like the idea of it being more like a simple shape, rather than having all these like light detail. Let's do that. I could do that. Like it doesn't have to be realistic either. For the sake of yeah, for the sake of the game, I don't think it needs to be anything realistic either. So I think I could do this. And like we could work on the kind of idle animation, right? Where it's basically kind of moving this is waving, which by the way is pretty simple. You just imagine there's a wave, like a sine wave, that's just passing through the edge. Greymouth says, when you were converting the wavy bits to a darker color, there was a moment where one side of the fold had light and it looked cool. Dang. All right. You gotta be careful though, because some of these, now I'm looking at it after the fact, it looks like gloves. So I think I'm gonna do these lacy bits, kind of like get rid of this real quick, and then reconsider this a little bit. Because the problem is, what's the shape here? What's the shape here? Like, it's flat. Thanks for the follow, Greymouth. Greymouth. Because realistically, it doesn't make sense, right? If you have a shoulder, if you have a body, like all these things, like it should actually hook on the shoulder here, and it should actually go down. You know, it should like angle down like this. But we have given up on reality here. And we're just going for the simple shape here. I'm going to imagine that it's a cone, actually. It's more like a cone. You know. Which is to say, I suppose, half the side might be receiving the light on this kind of manner. Right? There's some folds. But there are ripples of folds. Just kind of like gently scalloped ripples. Nothing serious, nothing crazy. Right? I think that means it needs to actually move. So for example, this right here, this is a fold. This is a fold. Where is it all going towards? I think it's going towards the center. Like here. Where's the tension line? Right, that's what we're looking for. Tension line. So it's falling from the shoulder, right? So the tension line is this. If we're trying to make it look a little bit more realistic. That makes no sense either. It just needs to assume that it's coming from the center, I think, for the simplicity of the image. Greymouth says, reality isn't cool enough anyways. You're right. It's true. We're not concerned for reality here. Only coolness. I wonder if I can do this. So like actually, ooh, you know what? Hold on. New approach. Instead of doing a full shape, we're doing the little lighter bit on the half of the scallop. The little things. So right here like that. This one is a little coney scallop, so we'll do that. Yeah. Oops. So it's like just catching light gently, like light every now and then. Then it'll just catch like this only. So most of the time it's not catching any light. And right here, instead of that, you might be catching only half the light. Then maybe it can extend all the way down then. This also means this can extend all the way down. Maybe I could round it out. Like so. Just like a little bit circular. More like I'm kind of accepting the roundness of the fabric more. I wonder how it'll look if I make it so that the other half is this. No, it doesn't work as well. Right. Okay. I think it can be more like this, actually. Yeah, I think this could be cool. It's not bad. Simple shape, simple silhouette. Nothing crazy going on. I might simplify the color here even more. Just do only this half. And completely do that on the other side. Cool. You might catch some of these lights. Yeah, too complicated. Get rid of that. There you go. Okay. Then I like the simple shape. And what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to make a wave. So at the bottom, this shape will move through. So it's going to be... Maybe I should do the lighting afterwards, but this travels this way. This moves down a little bit. Hello, kitty. If it transfers this way, I think it's going to start a new pattern here. Let me try to do this real quick. Meow, says my cat. Just give me a second. If it's like this, it goes like this. This is the new shape. Okay. Like so. And then this one moves over here. So I think the peak. Yep. It's like this. Okay, okay. Okay, please. And then more of the peak, like so. We got boom, boom. This part doesn't look like it moved at all, so I might have to fix that. Gonna have to do one more here, I think. this might need to scale up in actually. Cat, please. Cat, please. Let me work. Ugh. This one wants too much attention. You're out of here. I think this is it. Like that, right? We got this moving down. Oops. Ah! I mean, at least we have the motif there. So animating this is not going to be too much pain, I think. Oh, please. Like that. So we'll do dark one, I think. So we go boop, boop. Maybe a little more. Like that. Oh, you know what? That's actually a better shape. That's what was missing. This should have been the shape. Well, we'll figure this out. Okay, well, we got the design doc going. We started our concept art. We chose our palette. So I think we're in a good spot. Stop it, cat! Stop. It seems like I think that's a sign. My cat being like that just means I've been working too long. So we'll stop right there. Blood H. Well, thanks everyone for joining in my late night stream. A rare one, I say, for me at least. I think we can take a little break, and I'll continue tomorrow in my normal hours. Thanks everyone for joining, and I